Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into something special today. Some incredible acts of kindness from around the world.
Sounds heartwarming. I'm ready.
Yeah, and we're not talking about those viral videos, those overly staged ones.
Right, right.
We dug deep, found real stories reported by journalists, hidden gems of human kindness that might have slipped under your radar.
Love it. I'm always up for a dose of good news, especially these days. I think we all are.
Absolutely, and I think you'll be fascinated by what we found.
Well, as someone who's spent years, analyzing human behavior and societal trends, I'm especially curious to see the kind of stories you've uncovered.
Awesome. Well, let's get right into it.
Okay.
Our first story, imagine this. You find out a complete stranger paid off your layaway balance just before Christmas.
Wow. That would be incredible.
Now make that stranger George Michael. Yeah, the singer.
No way.
Turns out he was secretly doing all sorts of good deeds throughout his life. It was only after he passed away that the full extent of his generosity came to light.
That's amazing. It really makes you think how much good goes unnoticed every day.
It really does. For example, there's this story about a woman struggling with IVF treatments. She had shared her experience on a TV show, and George Michael, touched by her story, he anonymously donated £25,000 to help her.
Wow, that's incredible. To think he was moved enough to take such direct action, truly remarkable. It speaks volumes, about the power of empathy.
Absolutely. All right, ready for a change of scenery?
Yeah, hit me.
Let's go to a bustling train station in Kyiv, Ukraine, right in the middle of the ongoing conflict.
Oh, wow, that's heavy.
You wouldn't expect to find acts of kindness flourishing in a war zone,
Yeah.
but that's exactly what's happening. The Plast, they're a Ukrainian Scout organization. They set up what they call a workshop of good deeds right there in the station. They provide support and aid to soldiers heading to the front lines and families fleeing the conflict.
Wow. That's so powerful to see such resilience, such a commitment to helping others, even amidst such chaos and danger. It really underscores the strength of the human spirit.
Yeah, it really is inspiring. And they didn't stop there. The Plast Scouts also took on this task of spreading the peace light from Bethlehem
Yeah.
throughout Ukraine.
Oh, I've heard of that.
It's a really symbolic gesture of hope and solidarity, especially in such a difficult time.
It is. It's that combination of practical help and a deeper symbolic act that really resonates with people. It speaks to our need for both tangible support and hope.
For sure. Okay, now for a story that's sure to warm your heart. Have you ever heard of a mailman rescuing a kitten and then getting an amazing gift in return?
That's a new one. I'm all ears.
All right, so this happened in Tacoma, Washington. Joseph, he's a mailman, found a tiny abandoned kitten while he was on his route. Big heart, this guy decides to rescue the little fella.
Oh, bless him.
But here's the twist. Word gets out about Joseph's kindness. A local restaurant hears about it, and they're so touched by his compassion that they decide to thank him in a big way.
Okay, how did they thank him?
Free meals for a whole year.
Wow. Talk about a delicious reward. That's a perfect example of how kindness can create a ripple effect. It inspires others to be generous too.
Exactly. It's like a positive feedback loop of generosity and appreciation. Okay, let's switch gears a bit. Have you ever thought about maybe swapping out all that holiday shopping for kindnessing?
I think a lot of people are tired of that whole holiday shopping frenzy. It often overshadows the true spirit of the season, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
What if, instead of buying tons of stuff, we focused on doing acts of kindness for others?
I love that idea. And it's not just a feel-good notion, there's actual research backing this up. Studies have shown that being kind, it reduces stress levels and increases happiness for both the giver and the receiver.
It's like kindness is a gift that keeps on giving, right?
Absolutely. And, it doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. Simple things can make a big difference.
Totally. Like baking cookies for your neighbors, volunteering at a food bank, just offering a helping hand.
Those are great examples. It's about shifting our focus from consumption to connection. Realizing that meaningful gestures mean more than any material gift.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, for our next story, let's look at how kindness can help a community heal after a tragedy. We're going to Southport, England, where there was a series of fatal stabbings that really shook the town.
Oh, that's awful.
But amidst the grief and shock, something amazing happened. A wave of compassion and support swept through the community.
That's beautiful. It speaks to our deep human need for connection and solidarity, especially during tough times. Acts of kindness can be a powerful antidote to despair.
You're absolutely right. And in Southport, that compassion was put into action. Local businesses offered free counseling and support services to anyone affected by the tragedy.
That's fantastic. They understood that healing goes beyond just physical needs. It's about emotional and psychological support as well.
For sure. And it wasn't just organizations. Individuals also found ways to contribute, proving that even small gestures can make a big difference when people are hurting.
That's really inspiring. It's a reminder that we all have the power to make a difference, to offer support and compassion when it's needed most.
Absolutely. And these are just a few of the amazing stories we've found. We have so much more to share.
I'm eager to hear more. These stories are truly heartwarming. I'm ready for more. What other inspiring stories have you uncovered?
Well, let's circle back to the Plas for a moment. That amazing Ukrainian Scout organization we talked about earlier. Remember the ones running that workshop of good deeds at the train station in Kyiv?
Yeah, definitely. Providing aid in a war zone like that, wow, incredibly moving.
They're really going above and beyond. They actually took the peace light from Bethlehem all the way to the front lines, bringing a bit of hope to the soldiers fighting there.
Taking a symbol of peace right into the heart of conflict. That's powerful stuff. It's like saying, even amidst all this, we still believe in peace, we still believe in humanity.
It's about holding on to that hope, even when things are tough. Okay, ready for a little mystery? Let's head over to New York City. Random acts of kindness are happening, but this time they're coming in the form of letters.
Letters. That's interesting. What kind of letters?
That's the mystery. These heartwarming letters, some even have cash inside, are showing up in mailboxes in this random apartment building. The residents are totally baffled, but so touched by this anonymous generosity.
It's like a real-life secret Santa spreading joy and mystery throughout the building. That anonymity adds another layer, doesn't it? It's like the good deed itself is the reward.
Exactly. It's pure giving, no strings attached.
Okay.
Ready to hear about some incredible students?
Oh, yeah, I love hearing about young people making a difference. Always inspiring.
This takes us to Richard Hush's College in Somerset, England. A group of students there decided to spread kindness throughout their community during the holidays.
Nice. What did they do?
Well, they visited local care homes, bringing decorations and spending time with the residents, bringing some cheer to people who might be feeling lonely.
That's lovely. Such a simple act, but it can mean so much to those who might be isolated, especially during the holidays.
And they didn't stop there. They organized a food drive for a local food bank, too, making sure families in need would have a good meal.
So thoughtful. It's actions like these that show you don't need grand plans to make a real difference, just recognizing a need and taking action.
Exactly. Let's shift gears now. Let's talk about the simple act of sharing a meal with someone in need.
Breaking bread together. That's one of the most fundamental acts of human connection.
This story comes from Chilliwack, Canada. There's a local meat store there known for its generosity.
A meat store, huh? That's an interesting one.
This store does more than just sell meat. They regularly donate food to local shelters and food banks, making sure people have access to good food.
Great example of businesses giving back, using their resources to address a real need in the community. More of that, please.
I agree. Unfortunately, there's a sad part to this story. The store was broken into recently, which is just awful, considering all the good they do.
Oh no, that's terrible. It makes you wonder sometimes. But hey, it doesn't take away from their positive impact, right?
Not at all. It makes their commitment to kindness even more remarkable. Okay, last story for this part. Let's talk about a place that often evokes feelings of stress and worry. A hospital.
Yeah, I can see that. But kindness, well, that could be a real antidote to all that stress.
For sure. This takes us to CHI St. Joseph's Hospital in Lexington, Kentucky. They launched this campaign called Human Kindness.
Human kindness, I like that. Gets right to the point.
And they're putting it into action through, get this, handmade gifts.
Oh, how lovely. Tell me more.
So healthcare workers and volunteers, they hand-knitted hundreds of hats and gloves for patients, spreading some warmth and comfort during the holidays.
That's such a beautiful gesture. Those gifts are more than just practical. They show the patients they're cared for, they're seen as people, not just as patients.
It's those little touches of humanity that can make a world of difference in a hospital setting. It's amazing, right, how a little bit of kindness can make someone's day, especially when they're feeling down. For our last story today, let's go to a place you might not associate with warmth and fuzziness.
Oh, okay. I'm curious now. Where are we headed?
We're going into the world of sports, specifically the Siouxland wrestling community.
Wrestlers. Huh. That's not the first group that comes to mind when you think of acts of kindness.
I know, right? But these athletes are showing that even tough competitors have big hearts.
So how are they spreading kindness?
They've decided to make a difference this holiday season by doing random acts of kindness around their community.
Awesome. What kind of things are they up to?
They've been paying for people's groceries, helping out at local charities, even shoveling snow for elderly neighbors.
That's great. Proof that anyone can make a positive impact no matter their background. Kindness truly is universal.
Could have said it better myself. It's a great reminder that we all share that human connection, even beneath the surface of competition and tough exteriors. Well, that wraps up our deep dive into these amazing acts of kindness from around the world.
These stories have been so inspiring. It's really reassuring to see so much good happening out there, even with all the challenges we face.
I agree. It makes you think, what's one small act of kindness you could do today that might start a ripple effect?
That's a great question to leave our listeners with. We all have the power to make a difference, no matter how small.
Exactly. Even the smallest gesture can brighten someone's day and help create a kinder world. Thanks for joining us on this heartwarming journey. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into, well, who knows what fascinating topic.